Hi. I don't know if your life has been similar to mine. My guess is that there's a lot of you that are going to say, yeah, in the fact that there's been a whole lot of challenges lately, a lot of obstacles and things to overcome, and moving pieces, and just things to try to navigate, often unexpected and sometimes difficult as well. And so, because I've been in this place lately, I've noticed layers and layers and layers of difficulty and challenge that a variety of different people have had. I know here where I live, we had multiple severe ice storms and snowstorms within just a week that brought down power lines and thousands of trees in our area that caused people to have to be without power for weeks. That same storm hit Texas and has wreaked all kinds of havoc down there and made for very difficult living decisions for a lot of different people. And so I just wanted to let you know that if you've been struggling, I feel you. And it's not always going to be this way. And I hope that you have something to sustain you, something positive to hold on to, maybe faith, or maybe positive thinking, or maybe understanding that this too shall pass. And just because you're going through it right now doesn't mean that storm's going to stay there forever, even though sometimes it feels that way. I'm sorry for the struggles that you're going through, but at the same time, often it's the struggles that bring growth and awareness and connection in ways that it often doesn't when things are just rolling real smooth and we don't have any concerns and we're just kind of flowing through life. There are silver linings in those dark storms, and it can be really hard, especially if you're suffering, which suffering is that's a mental thing. Suffering happens in the mind. It doesn't mean that you can't be in physical pain or discomfort, but the way we think about it, our perspective on it, is what creates the suffering or not. If we can think in a positive way, and we can find the silver linings in the dark storms, then that at least gives us something. It gives us a takeaway. It gives us a nugget that we can hold on to that makes our heart and our mind and our spirit a little bit more buoyant to be able to see our way through the difficulties. Because if we just sit in the negative of it and we concentrate on feeling victimized or adopting an attitude that it's never going to change, all that does is sink us down deeper and causes a despair of the spirit and leads to depression and anxiety and worry and fear. And so there's nothing inherently wrong with those because they're human emotions. We need to acknowledge when we feel them. We don't sweep them under the rug and pretend like they're not there because that creates mental health issues. And it's really a certain kind of bypassing. And we don't want to do that. It's important to acknowledge what's there, but at the same time, find the positive in the negative so that we can walk away with something that's a little bit more positive, which is hopefully learning something and realizing and recognizing something, and maybe even growing a little bit more empathy because maybe now we have an understanding about something we've never been through that was different than what we understood before we had been through it, which helps us breed compassion for other human beings when they might be going through similar circumstances. So, just encouraging you to try to find the positive in the struggle, and it can make things a little bit better. And at the same time, being okay to acknowledge, yeah, this is going on. It feels terrible and it kind of sucks and it's painful, but also finding the positive in that by looking for the gold nuggets and looking for the gems that give you a takeaway. So, not always easy, but good to point yourself in that direction nevertheless. If you'll take a moment and hit subscribe down below, then you'll get my videos. I'd love it if you'd like them as well. And there's a bell right next to the subscribe button. So if you'd like to get future videos, especially before they're posted on social media, go ahead and hit that bell and you'll be the first one to be notified. This has been a sage inspiration for well-being from askalecia.com.